You're making some major career mistakes and you might not even know it. Sometimes the biggest obstacles in your career are the things that you least expect, the things that you take for granted every day, and small mistakes that sometimes compound over time. So let's dive in and talk about the 5 career mistakes that you're probably making. Number 1. Oh yeah, that's totally fine. We've all been there. A colleague asks for your help, and without even thinking, you say, oh sure, that's no problem, or oh yeah, that's totally fine. And we agree to it even though our plates are completely overflowing. We don't want to disappoint our team members, and we want to make sure that the project is done correctly. But saying yes when you should have said no leads to a lot of issues down the road. And usually a lot of professionals learn this the hard way when you get to a point where you're just overwhelmed and you feel like you're drowning in work, and you realize I probably should have said no to the 10 other projects that were optional, but I did them anyway. The critical key here is learning to say no and using no as a tool to shape your career in the direction that you want to go in. Not everything is for you and you can't help everybody. Prioritize your work and figure out which direction you want to go in as an employee, as a professional, and only take on the jobs or the responsibilities that align with where you want to go. Mistake number 2. It's all about the Benjamins. Money is important, but it shouldn't be your only contributing factor when making a career decision. I have a lot of people in my network who jump from job to job to job in order to make more money. What happens is they come back and they say, I'm actually not as happy as I thought I was going to be making double what I'm making. And why is that? Because the higher that you get up in an organization, if it doesn't align with where you want to go in your career, it's a phenomenon called golden handcuffs. When you're too successful to leave and you don't have any other choice, so you're chained to the money. So before you deep dive into just saying yes to money without actually knowing the responsibilities that go with it, think about what truly motivates you and what brings you fulfillment in your career. And those are the types of roles, those are the types of positions that you want to start diving into and making more money off of. Because you will go further in your career if you're excited and passionate about what you do. Mistake number 3, I'll do it all myself. Asking for help can be difficult, and I promise it's not a sign of weakness. A lot of us refuse to ask for help because we're probably better at doing it ourselves anyway. But trying to tackle everything yourself can lead to burnout and extra stress that really weighs you down. And the more that you're stressed and overwhelmed and burned out, the longer that you're going to be missing out on the opportunities that you actually want to do and the positions that you actually want to be in. Don't be afraid to reach out for support when you need it, especially if you feel like you're going to be a burden. That's the perfect time to ask for help because your coworkers are going to go out of their way to make sure that they can help you. Mistake number 4. I gotta get this done. I used to work in healthcare advertising where people would on a regular basis say, we're not performing heart surgery here. And what that means is, with the exception of you who are actually doctors, if you aren't actually doing something with major consequence, you don't have to take on that extra level of burden, that extra level of stress. And you have to remember that jobs are just jobs. They're all temporary to some capacity. And just because someone puts an arbitrary deadline on you doesn't mean that your world has to revolve around that deadline. Being a workaholic is not healthy, and taking regular breaks rejuvenates your mind and your body and boosts your productivity and creativity. Consider adding breaks into your work schedule and view them as an investment into your productivity and an investment into your kind of brain power that you can bring to the team. So in this mistake, it's important to know when to power through something, and it's important to know when to power down from something. And when you're at work and you have this ongoing sense of, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, that might be a perfect time to take a step back, take a walk, go outside, go get a coffee, figure out how to relax, and make sure that you're not overly stressing yourself and burning yourself out. The 5th mistake, I don't know what I'm doing. This might come as a shock. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone's figuring it out. Everyone's trying to do it as they go. And no one knows how to do anything 100% perfectly. A lot of people, especially professionals who are just getting started in a new role, in a new position, a new industry, face something that's called imposter syndrome. And it's really rampant, especially when you approach something with a perfectionist mindset that you don't actually know how to do something, or you're thinking, I'm not exactly perfect, I don't know everything I need to know about it. That's okay. The key here is to have the courage to ask questions, to seek guidance, and to continually learn. No one knows everything about everything. So if you can approach a project or a role with a sense of, I don't know exactly how this is going to look when it's done, but I'm going to put my best foot forward and I'm going to try my best to make it happen, that's really all that you can do. Remember, successful professionals don't have all the answers, but they know how to find them. So make sure that you're relying on your team members, make sure you're relying on your own intuition, and most importantly, make sure that you're approaching your work with a sense of excitement and motivation for what you're doing. Bring the creativity, bring the excitement to your work, and you'll be just fine. And if you feel like you're just not having a good time at work, check out this video that I made about the reason that you're not enjoying work. And with that, I will see you on the next one.